Hi guys, my name is Ja-Mel and in this video I will be discussing the books that I will be reviewing next. Now, now I do have book reviews that will be going up that either have already gone up and will be going up shortly. Books that I've already reviewed and talked about and discussed. Um, but I want to talk about the books that I will be doing for May and April. These may not be all the books, but these are at least the first four that are immediately on my list. First, we have We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mejia. And the description reads, at the Medill School for Girls, distinguished young women are trained for one of two roles in a polarized society. Depending on their specialization, a graduate will one day run her husband's household or raise his children, but both wives are promised a life of comfort and luxury, far from the frequent political uprisings of the lower class. Daniela Vargas is the school's top student, but her bright future depends upon no one discovering her darkest secret, that her pedigree is a lie. Her parents sacrificed everything to obtain forged identification papers so Danny could rise above her station. Now that her marriage to an important political son is fast approaching, she must keep the truth hidden or be sent back to the fringes of society, where famine and poverty rule supreme. On her graduation night, Danny seems to be in the clear, despite the surprises that unfold. But nothing prepares her for all the difficult choices she must make, especially when she is asked to spy for a resistance group desperately fighting to bring equality to Media. Will Danny give up everything she strived for in pursuit of a free Media and a chance at a forbidden love? The first in a sizzling fantasy duology from debut author Taylor K. Mejia, We Set the Dark on Fire is a boldly feminist look at freedom, family, and fighting power. So this is the first book I'll be reading. This book is actually one of the two books that people like Knox and Natalie De Jesus, and also I believe inconsistently Jules, will be reading for the Consoboy Reading Challenge, which is all year reading Latinx books from Latinx authors, and books that deal books from Latinx authors. And this is one of the books for March. The other book I don't quite have on hand or remember the name of, but once I do know that, I will get that information to you. Knox, if you're watching this video, you can also sort of like let that be known, and I will have more information about the Consoboy Reading Challenge in the description below, as well as all of the as well as all the good read links to the books that I'm talking about. And the next book that we are going to be reading, this one isn't for Consoboy. This one isn't for Consoboy, but this is a book that I've been so excited about. A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney. Look at this cover. You probably can't see it all that well, but look at this fierce black woman. We love it. We love to see it. This book is essentially Black Alice retelling. A Black Alice retelling. And the description reads, this isn't the Wonderland you remember. The first time a nightmare came, Alice nearly lost her life. Now, with magic weapons and hardcore fighting skills, she battles those monstrous creatures in the dream realm known as Wonderland. Yet even warriors have curfews. Like life in real life Atlanta isn't always so simple, as Alice juggles an overprotective mom, a high-maintenance best friend, and school. Keeping the nightmares at bay is turning into a full-time job. When Alice's handsome and mysterious mentor is poisoned, she has to find the antidote by venturing deeper into Wonderland than she's ever gone before. And she'll need to use everything she's learned in both worlds to keep from losing her head. Literally. So this is a book that I've been excited about for a while. I will be reviewing this as well. This will be coming in the next couple of weeks. Nocturna by Nocturna by Maya Montaigne is one of the other books I'll be reading, which is actually really interesting considering the protagonist of my book, Dreamer. Her name is Maya. So I already feel a kinship with this book. Nocturna is a book that I've had on my radar for a long while now, and this is a book that I've had for most of these books I've had for a few years now, about a year or two. This was one of the more recent books that I bought a few months ago, and I just haven't really had a chance to read it because college is rough when I was in college. So this book reads, the blurb of this book reads, to Fin Voy, magic is two things. A knife to hold under the chin of anyone who crosses her, and a disguise she shrugs into as easily as others put on cloaks. As a talented face shifter, Fin hasn't seen her own face in years, and that's exactly how she likes it. But when she gets caught by a powerful mobster, she's forced into an impossible mission: steal a legendary treasure from Castellans. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. From Castellan's royal palace, or be stripped of her magic forever. After the murder of her older brother Desmond, Prince Alfer is first in line to the Castellan throne, but he can't help feeling that he will never live up to his brother's legacy. Riddled with grief, Alfie is obsessed with finding a way to bring Des back, even if it means dabbling in forbidden magic. But when Finn's and Alfie's fates collide, they accidentally unlock a terrible ancient power, which, if not contained, will devour the world. With Castellan's fate in their hands, the two must race to vanquish what they have unleashed, though it will mean facing the deepest darknesses in their past. This is another book that I will be reading in the next coming weeks. This was done for, I believe, the first month of Console Boy. I believe. It might have been the first book or the second book, unless I'm remembering things correctly, but I'm pretty sure this was it. If anyone knows, please sort of like guide a correction down in the comments. And the last book that I have on my TBR for right now is actually not a Console Boy book at all. This is Daughters of the Stone by Ja-Mel. This is Daughters of the Stone by This is Daughters of the Stone. This is Daughters of the Stone by Dalma Janos Figueroa. And this book is actually a book that I read for my global literature class that I absolutely loved and adored with a passion. This book is so good. And I love it so much. I love it so much. If you are one of my friends, you know how much I've been saying, read this book, because it's really good. Daughters of the Stone follows the lives of 5 generations of Afro-Puerto Rican women, focusing on the legacy passed from one generation to the next. How does each generation deal with that legacy given changing environments and cultures? How does the environment change the legacy? What happens to communication when language and culture are truncated? What legacy does a woman who owns nothing, not even her own body, leave for her daughter? What happens to a storyteller when she can no longer tell her stories? Can one build for the future without coming to terms with the past? This is a novel of memory, magic, and resilience in the face of enormous obstacles. It is a novel of continuity through storytelling. It is a novel of families, ultimately. All our families, and how we survive. This book is amazing, and I love it so much. If a book has family themes, I will be all over that like white on rice. Trust me, I really love this book. This book is solidly Puerto Rican. This book is Puerto Rican. This is a Latinx book. this is a Latinx book, and I love it so much. And it's just really, really amazing. As you could probably hear from the description, um, if you've read Dreamer, you know that this book has some parallels to Dreamer just based off of the reading. Because one of the big things about my book, Dreamer, sorry that I'm talking about you somewhat, but sorry that I'm talking about it in this video that is not about my book. But Dreamer, one of the big themes in Dreamer, as it was a major theme in Charmed, is family and the family aspect, and particularly how each generation deals with the true dreamer, which is the savior of the woman who's supposed to save everyone because it skips a generation. So each generation has their own sort of dealings and their own sort of personal connection to the true dreamer legacy. Um, and each woman is shaped by her mother and by her grandmother and by her past and by sort of like the things that happened to them, and they just end up passing it on to their children. And I really, really love it because there are chapters where we talk about it in the book, and there are moments where it's just the biggest and the deepest it's ever been. And just like Dreamer, this book features something similar without a world-saving element. And this book is amazing. Trigger warnings for this book specifically. Trigger warnings for this book specifically because I have read it. There is some mild racism and there's some mild racism. I am not quite. I believe there's talk of rape in this book. I haven't. I don't quite remember. I haven't read it in a year. Um. Links to all four of these books will be down in the description. Links to the Goodreads pages, to the Amazon pages will be down in the description. If you guys are interested, they'll be down there. I'll also link down to Knox Reads, who is one of the co-hosts for the Constant Boy Reading Challenge, and also Natalie and Aster, if I can get hold of their YouTube channel links. And with that, I will see you in the next video.